Port, it is December 10th, 2025. We are here, and we are late. Sorry. And this one is entitled Tanker Taken and Fed Set to Print, because, well, that is what's going to be going on as detailed by Powell and the Federal Reserve, and then, of course, Trump basically rubbing it in the nose of Maduro, saying that he's gotten his tanker, some tanker that evidently, I don't know, it's a shadow fleet kind of thing, whatever. I don't understand all that crap. It's all whatever. It's got a crap load of oil. Someone said about a couple million barrels or something like that. I don't know if that's true. But it was taken, and now, of course, everything's all crazy. I personally think, and I said this the other day, now that I think they're going to get through the peace process thing. It's kind of tough to say, hey, yay, Corina Machado, or whatever her name is, for peace, and then, go in and try to take the country. So I think they're going to let the, all that go, and then when that's done, then they'll go in and they'll start going. They're getting set up for it. I don't know if you guys, I was thinking about this, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jack Ryan series. It's an Amazon one. There's been a couple of them. But the second season, which it's one that my wife and I like, second season is basically this entire scenario that is happening. There's a lady that's supposed to be running a small Latin American country, and this guy that's in power is, total piece of crap, and basically they go in and they take the guy in his palace. So I'm sure if you're familiar with season 2 of Jack Ryan, but there's a lot of similarities to this. Not that anything that goes on in Hollywood would be playing out today. So some food for thought. All right. Appreciate you being here. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. If you're looking to put your 401k or your IRA into gold and silver, and you probably have been hearing about all the things going on in the metals market, this company is a company we've partnered with, and the reason why is because they are highly rated at what they do. So if you are considering that, and a lot of people are, because things are getting crazy financially, check them out. The link is in the description, and from there, they take you through a bit of a learning session. They tell you what they do, and then from there, you can either choose or not choose to go. All right. Well, let's get started on your crisis report. These aren't going to be long-winded. I did like the way YouTube put the little clip thing. It made like a clip and suggested. That was kind of cool. I don't know. Half the time I think it's not so much that I'm not, I don't know what the hell I'm doing on, on YouTube half the time. I've never been technologically adept at this kind of thing. Getting better. It's funny because I've got AI pretty well right now with what I do, but not when it comes to the old video making and stuff like that, but whatever. Most of you guys know that, most of you guys respect the product that we're putting out here. We do tout it as the most comprehensive news on YouTube. And honestly, I don't think I've found anything even close. I mean, I've found some things that are close, but nothing that is consistent and as put together and just boom, boom, boom like the crisis report is, which is why we do it. So let's get started. This is your crisis report for December 10th, 2025. Iceland says it will boycott Eurovision Song Contest in 2026. U.S. forces have intercepted and seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Fed says it will begin Treasury bill purchases on December 12th. President Donald Trump says we have just seized a tanker off the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large, largest one you've ever seen, ever size. It's actually the biggest ever. It's the biggest tanker you've ever seen. United States House overwhelmingly passed a $900 billion defense bill, and I read that, I just think of more surveillance. I mean, let's be honest. Trump signaled opposition to a Warner Brothers Discovery sale that did not see the news network CNN included or sold to a new company. Quote, I think CNN should be sold because I think the people that are running it, CNN right now, are either very corrupt or incompetent. SpaceX is going public. Elon Musk confirmed SpaceX is planning to raise tens of billions of dollars through an IPO soon. So we should see that pretty soon. Trump warns Colombia's president that he is going to be next. Just threatening everybody. U.S. nuclear-capable bombers flew over the Sea of Japan with Japanese fighter jets. Japan said on December 11th a show of force after Chinese-Russian military drills in the skies and seas around Japan and South Korea. It is basically a day ahead. So, President Trump says the United States government will keep the oil from the seized Venezuelan tanker. Laura Loomer says that she's standing with Erica Kirk with the fight Candace Owens every step of the way. I'd like to thank all of the conservative talk show hosts for getting up into a big tizzy with each other. Lord knows you guys shouldn't stay focused on trying to fix all the damn problems. You should get into a freaking high school level cat fight over a bunch of crazy crap that really doesn't matter to anything in the end. Sorry, it doesn't. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with all this stuff. This kind of stuff I don't like to dabble with, deal with, or whatever. I want to know what's going on money markets. I want to know what's going on in geopolitics and all this freaking infighting crap that's ruining the conservative brand can go F itself. I'm done with it. United States Navy EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft reportedly with the Scorpions of Electromagnetic Attack Squadron 132 were spotted on the tarmac at Roosevelt Roads Naval Station in eastern Puerto Rico after crossing the United States and arriving last night from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island in Washington. Bloomberg reports that Maria Corina Machado was aided in her journey to Curaçao by both the Trump administration and some members of the Maduro regime, specifically by officers of the Venezuelan armed forces. She missed today's ceremony after her transit to Curaçao and had to be delayed due to bad weather. So if that's true, that's pretty interesting. If it was a Trump admin and people from the Maduro regime, that could be an interesting thing. Head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of Honduras, General Roosevelt Leonel Hernandez Aguilar, said that once the CNE makes its official declaration, there will be an orderly transition and alternation of power in Honduras. This is a blow for the ruling far-left Libre Party that hopes that the army would support their coup attempt to stop the count of the final votes in the elections in Honduras. I love these like authoritarian regime parties that use the word like freedom and libre and all that. Like they call it the People's Liberation Army of China. No, that's not. It's the Subjugation and Authoritarianism Party of China, right? It's not the Libre Party of Honduras. It's the Enslavement Maker Party of Honduras. Former Bolivian President Luis Arce was arrested by security forces in compliance with the prosecutor's order in a corruption case, according to Bolivian media reports. Former leader is implicated in an alleged embezzlement of millions of public funds intended for the development of indigenous and rural communities during his tenure as Evo Morales' Minister of Economy. According to the investigation, while serving as Minister of Economy, Arce allegedly authorized state disbursements to private accounts, including that of the former Congresswoman Lydia Patty, who is currently detained in Obrajes prison. Nationwide celebrations across Syria tonight as news of the Cesar Act repeal has broken. Videos from Homs shows the celebrations by Syrians after the U.S. House decided to lift sanctions on Syria. Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Prize winner Maria Corina Machado is seen for the first time in 11 months, now at the Grand Hotel Oslo, after managing to deceive the Chavista regime and escape with the help of supporters within the Venezuelan armed forces. Not a good sign. Maria Elvira Salazar, a U.S. Congresswoman, meets with Marina Corina Machado for the first time in Oslo, Norway. They had a hug of a lifetime. I thought Conchado was going to get the life squeezed out of her. Explosion and massive fire in St. Petersburg, Russia. Local authorities report at least one fatality and multiple injuries. Witnesses describing several explosions as the fire tore through stalls packed with highly flammable goods. Trump is now selling Trump gold cards for $1 million per person and $2 million per corporation. President Trump officially launches the Trump Gold Card and Trump Platinum Card, which includes on the Trump Gold Card for a processing fee and, after DHS vetting, a $1 million contribution and receive U.S. residency in record time with the Trump Gold Card. In the Trump Platinum Card, for a processing fee and DHS vetting, a $5 million contribution, you have the ability to spend up to 270 days in the United States without being subject to U.S. taxes on non-U.S. income. Come on in, folks. Japan NATO shared grave concerns about recent joint patrols by Chinese and Russian aircraft, Tokyo said. Ursula von der Leyen has found the solution to illegal migration in the EU, turning all illegal immigrants into legal immigrants. Well, that sounds wonderful. She says that European institutions must find new employees to fill out the jobs that Europeans can't or won't do. So the EU is trying to repeat the success of the migrant wave from the former Warsaw Pact countries after the collapse of communism, but this time it expects to gain the same level of value from importing Arabs and Indians. And I'm sure they absolutely will. I'm sure all of the people from the Middle East will go and add so much value. It'll be just a diversity fest. PLA aircraft carrier operations in the Western Pacific as the People's Liberation Army, the freedom makers that they are. December 6th, Liaoning Aircraft Carrier Task Force transited the Miyako Strait into the Philippine Sea. This is with the 5th Chinese carrier task force to operate beyond the first island chain this year, matching the total of 5 such deployments recorded last year. Previous instance of a Chinese aircraft carrier operating outside the first island chain in December occurred in late December 2022. According to Daniel Rice's analysis in CMSI, note number 6, Chinese Carrier Task Force Defense Zone extends roughly 400 kilometers in radius. Notably, this deployment marked the first time a PLA Navy carrier group maintained continuous coverage over the Miyako Strait, Amami Strait, and Osumi Strait, while subsequently turning east as it approached Kyushu. United States Department of Homeland Security is establishing its own deportation fleet of 737 jets for deportations, contracting 6 Boeing 737 aircraft costing nearly $140 million. Amazon announces a $35 billion investment into India to target AI-driven digitization, export growth, and job creation. Wash those hands. Trump says his new gold card will allow companies to keep people from India, China, and France. In the U.S., they have to go back to wherever they came from. Very hard to stay. It's a shame. We're taking care of that. The companies are going to be very happy. And here's a summary of the Fed decisions for December 10th, 2025. Fed cuts rates by 25 BPS in the third rate cut of 2025. Fed will consider extending and timing of the additional adjustments. The Fed will begin purchasing U.S. Treasury bills on December 12th And the Fed will buy $40 billion of U.S. Treasury bills in 30 days. So comes out to about $500 billion over the year if they keep at this pace. And that's what they used to do for quantitative easing. Now they're calling it Federal Reserve, what do they call it? Like maintenance or something like that. It's BS. It's money printing. So your inflation is going to go freaking nuts. Okay? So get it now. S&P 500 extends gains after the Fed cut rates by 25 basis points, now less than 60 points away from a new record high. Conditions in the labor market are cooling and inflation remains somewhat elevated, Yet another way to say stagflation. Thanks, Jerome. And Jerome says that the Fed's purchases of United States Treasuries may remain elevated for a few months. Fed will begin purchasing $40 billion worth of treasuries over the next 30 days. Purchases come just 12 days after quantitative tightening ended. And here's some comments. Downside risks to employment have risen. Inflation in the U.S. remains somewhat elevated. Interest rates are now in a plausible range of neutral. GDP growth forecast for 2026 has been revised up. And other readings on other stuff. Global bull market is making history. The MSCI All Country World Index, or ACWI, is up 20+% year to date, on track for the best annual performance since 2019. This is nearly double the last 10 years' average of 11%. This also marks the third consecutive annual gain. Institutional demand for AI-related stocks is surging. U.S. insurers purchased 2.4 million of NVIDIA, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta on average per day over the 90 days ending November 30th. Insurers have been net buyers of these names over the last 90 days. Bitcoin has fallen below $90,000, now down over 5%, as levered long liquidations resume. $250 million worth of levered longs have been liquidated over the last 4 hours. And the Oracle situation. Oracle is down over 11% after hours following earnings results, which have sent the entire AI trade lower. Futures are down 1% right now, but is it warranted? First, Oracle raised CapEx estimates by $15 billion for 2026, and we'll just have to see where it goes from there. That is your crisis report for December 10th, 2025. Let me give you some thoughts on the whole Federal Reserve thing. They're cornered. They basically can't do anything to stop the inflation. The usury on our debt is going up. We will be downgraded at some point in the not-so-distant future. And all of these things are going to be a confluence of suck, as we affectionately call it here, when you guys are all going to be paying $9 for a loaf of organic bread or $5 for the Shitsky white. It's coming. It's coming. And all of this is showing it. They're going to print. And things are going to get more expensive. So the corporations will do great, but the plebes, not so much. So you can face reality and start to stack stuff away and stock up. I plan on eating a lot of rice going forward, to be honest with you. But yeah, you need to get it now and get going on all this. We're kind of in the end stage, I think. I think we're in the end stage. I think we're at that point where no diagnosis is going to help the patient. So at this point, we're just waiting to pull the plug. I know, real optimistic, but it is what it is. So facts do not cease to exist simply because they are ignored. Aldous Huxley. All right, friends, God bless you all. We will see you on the next one. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. Check out the link in the description. Possibly you'd like to become a member like Bad Bobber and others. Helps the channel. We will consistently keep going. We are absolutely crazy right now in my house, but I think it's going to slow down a little bit. We're on our third move. Yeah. So we got one more to go into the new digs, but it's still getting prepped up so we can live in it. And we'll see. So excited. Let y'all get some visuals from the property. It's a beautiful place. Other than that, friends, I really appreciate you. Join us on Gab, Minds, Truth, Twitter, X, Subscribe Star, Locals, and other places. I haven't been real posty this week. It's just been tough with all the reacclimation to the new digs and getting the kids to places. And I've had a bunch of busy stuff as well, extra meetings and crap. And, of course, the pre-Christmas thing, that's always a rat race as well. All the extra stuff. Wife was complaining about all the Secret Santa stuff that we have to do. And first I thought she was a little bah humbug, but then I started to think about it. She's actually kind of right. And basically what she said was like, it's crazy enough to get into these Secret Santa situations where half the time what you get is crap. And it doesn't even, the people don't even want what you give them because you don't know what to give them. I don't know, she had some good points. Folks, there's nothing wrong with a gift card. We'll just leave it at that. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.